Welcome back, everybody. It's great to have you with us for another deep dive into scientificlocal.org.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
This is actually our third deep dive into this fascinating project.
It is.
And for those of you who have been with us from the start, you'll recall our in-depth exploration of their SWOT analysis.
Yeah, got a good handle on their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Exactly. But today, we're shifting gears a bit and diving into the financial side of things.
All right, yeah, the money.
The million-dollar question, right? How does scientificlocal.org actually plan to make a profit?
And how do they plan to secure the necessary investment to make it all happen?
That's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Right.
So to kick things off, what struck you as particularly interesting about their financial projections?
Well, I mean, first off, their projected return on investment is pretty impressive, 7-9%.
That's a pretty healthy number.
It is, and it suggests that they're confident in their ability to generate returns while also being realistic in their expectations.
Right. No pie-in-the-sky promises.
Exactly. It's a balance of ambition and groundedness. And if you dig into their projections, it becomes clear that the key to achieving this ROI lies in the successful development and commercialization of their lead compounds.
Ah, yes. Those promising candidates derived from Indonesian herbal medicine.
Precisely. They're banking on these compounds hitting the market and generating revenue. And based on their projections, they anticipate this happening within a relatively short time frame, just 1 to 2 years.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
But also very exciting if they can pull it off.
It is. But it's important to remember that this is contingent on a lot of things going right.
Like navigating the regulatory landscape, securing funding, and of course demonstrating the safety and efficacy of these compounds.
Yeah, all of that is super critical.
And speaking of safety and efficacy, I'm reminded of our SWOT analysis deep dive where we highlighted scientificlocal.org's emphasis on rigorous preclinical trials.
Right, they're not cutting corners.
So they're clearly committed to building a solid scientific foundation, which I think is crucial for establishing credibility and attracting investors.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the world of herbal medicine where there can be skepticism and regulatory hurdles.
Totally. So they're setting themselves up for success in the long run. But let's say they ace those preclinical trials and everything's looking good. What's the plan for actually turning these compounds into revenue?
How do they make money?
Exactly. Spill the beans.
All right, so they've outlined 4 key revenue streams: upfront fees, milestone payments, royalties, and profit sharing.
That's a pretty diverse approach.
It is, and it's a smart move because it diversifies their income streams and reduces reliance on any single source.
Makes sense. Spreading the risk is always a good strategy.
Absolutely. So let's break down each of these revenue streams, starting with upfront fees. What are they all about?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Okay, so picture this. A major pharmaceutical company gets wind of one of scientificlocal.org's promising compounds, and they're really intrigued.
Like they see the potential dollar signs.
Exactly. So they approach scientificlocal.org and say, hey, we want in on this action. And to secure the right to explore developing that compound further, they pay an upfront fee.
So it's kind of like an exclusive first dibs agreement.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
Interesting. So that's one way they generate some initial capital.
Yeah.
What about those milestone payments?
Ah, milestone payments. Those are tied to the progress of the compound through different stages of development.
So think clinical trials, regulatory approvals, and finally launch into the market.
You got it. And at each successful milestone, scientificlocal.org receives a payment. It's like hitting those level-up bonuses in a video game.
I like that analogy. Keeps the momentum going and rewards success at each step.
Exactly. And then we have royalties.
Royalty is the long game.
Precisely. Once a drug hits the market and starts generating sales, scientificlocal.org receives a percentage of each sale.
So essentially, they're getting a cut of the profits for as long as that drug is being sold.
Exactly. And they're aiming for a royalty rate of 4 to 7%, which could translate into a significant and continuous stream of revenue.
Potentially millions of dollars flowing back into the project just from royalties alone.
That's the idea. It's a long-term play, but with potentially huge rewards.
And lastly, there's profit sharing.
Right, so this comes into play when scientificlocal.org partners with another company to co-develop a product.
So they're sharing the development costs and the potential profits.
Exactly. And their target is 4 to 10% of the net profits from these collaborations.
It's a way to leverage external expertise and resources while still ensuring a share of the financial rewards.
Yeah, it's a win-win. So as you can see, they've got a pretty well-rounded approach to generating revenue.
It sounds like they've thought this through very carefully, but of course none of this happens without investment. Where's the funding coming from to make all of this possible?
Good question. So their immediate need is 150,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about 15% of their total funding target for the first year.
That's a pretty substantial chunk of change.
It is. But they've outlined a very clear breakdown of how it will be used.
So where are they prioritizing this initial investment?
Well, the lion's share, 48%, goes towards assembling a top-notch core team.
The brains of the operation.
Precisely. Scientists, researchers, the folks who are going to be driving this project forward.
Makes sense. You need the best and brightest to make this kind of research work.
Absolutely. And then a significant portion, 32%, is allocated to computational resources.
So we're talking powerful computers, cutting-edge software, all the tools necessary to crunch massive amounts of data and identify those promising compounds.
Yeah, you need both brain power and computing power to be successful in this field.
Totally. So what about the rest of that initial funding?
The remaining funds are split between administrative and legal support, which is essential for keeping things running smoothly, and a cash reserve because you always need a bit of a safety net.
Smart planning. It sounds like they're laying a solid foundation for both scientific progress and financial stability. But this is obviously a long-term project. What's their vision for the future?
Well, they've mapped out a comprehensive 5-year investment strategy with a total funding target of 5 billion Indonesian rupiah, allocating 1 billion for each year.
Wow. That's a serious commitment. So how do they plan to allocate that funding over time?
There are some interesting trends that emerge when you look at the breakdown.
I'm all ears.
One key takeaway is the steady increase in personnel costs over time.
So they're planning to grow the team significantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which makes sense as the project expands and they need more specialized expertise.
Right. It's all about attracting and retaining top talent.
Exactly. And another key observation is that their investment in computational resources remains consistent throughout the 5-year plan.
So they're committed to staying at the forefront of technology.
Yeah, because in this field, if you're not innovating, you're falling behind.
It's a fast-paced world, and it sounds like scientificlocal.org is determined to keep up.
Oh, absolutely. They've got a clear vision, a solid plan, and a deep commitment to making a real impact.
It's not just about the initial investment. It's about sustained commitment and strategic allocation of resources over the long haul.
You hit the nail on the head. That long-term vision is what makes scientificlocal.org so compelling. It's not a quick-fix scheme. It's a thoughtfully crafted roadmap for sustainable growth and real impact in the field of Indonesian herbal medicine.
I love that. And I think it's something that investors will find very appealing as well.
Definitely. Because they're not just investing in a company, they're investing in a vision for a healthier future.
They've certainly got the financial side figured out. But what really excites me is the potential impact of this project.
Yeah, sure.
We've talked about the how of their business model, but why should anyone care?
What's the bigger picture here?
Exactly. What's the significance beyond the financial projections?
Well, I think it's important to remember that Indonesian herbal medicine represents centuries of accumulated knowledge.
It's like a treasure trove of potential remedies just waiting to be explored.
Exactly. And that's where scientificlocal.org comes in. They're bridging that gap between traditional knowledge and modern science.
Using cutting-edge computational methods to expedite the process of drug discovery.
Exactly. They're not just rediscovering old remedies, they're potentially accelerating the development of entirely new treatments.
It's like opening a door to a whole new world of possibilities.
It is. So what kind of ailments are we talking about here? What could this research potentially target?
That's a great question. What are some specific examples?
Well, one promising avenue is in the realm of infectious diseases.
Ah, yes. Indonesia has an incredible diversity of plants, many of which have been traditionally used to combat infections.
Right. And scientificlocal.org is investigating these plants, searching for compounds that could lead to new antibiotics or antivirals.
Which is incredibly relevant given the growing threat of antibiotic resistance.
Huge problem. And it's not just infectious diseases. They're also exploring the potential of Indonesian herbal medicine in treating chronic diseases.
Like diabetes and heart disease.
Exactly. Many plants have been traditionally used to manage these conditions, and there's growing scientific evidence to support their efficacy.
So scientificlocal.org is working to identify the specific compounds responsible for these therapeutic effects.
Paving the way for the development of new drugs or therapies?
It's like combining the wisdom of the past with the tools of the future.
That's a great way to put it. Are there any specific plants that have you particularly excited?
Oh, yeah. Are there any standouts?
One that comes to mind is a plant locally known as jamu.
Jamu. I've heard of that.
It's been used for centuries in traditional Indonesian medicine to boost the immune system and fight inflammation.
Fascinating. And what has scientificlocal.org found?
Their early analysis suggests that it contains compounds with potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties.
Wow. So it could have applications in treating a wide range of conditions.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the potential for new drugs. There's also a cultural and ethical dimension to this project.
Absolutely. It's important to consider the source of this knowledge and the communities who have safeguarded it for generations.
Exactly. And scientificlocal.org is deeply committed to ethical and sustainable practices.
So they're working closely with local communities, respecting traditional knowledge, and ensuring that any benefits derived from these discoveries are shared equitably.
That's the goal. And they're also dedicated to sustainable harvesting and cultivation methods.
So they're protecting biodiversity and ensuring the long-term viability of these valuable plant resources.
Right. It's a holistic approach combining scientific rigor with cultural sensitivity and environmental consciousness.
It's really impressive to see that level of commitment. But let's be real.
Sure.
Every ambitious venture faces challenges.
For sure.
What are some of the hurdles scientificlocal.org might encounter along the way?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is navigating the complex regulatory landscape for herbal medicines.
Oh, absolutely. Regulations can vary widely from country to country, and getting approval for new drugs can be a long and costly process.
It's a major undertaking. And then there's the issue of competition.
Right. The field of natural product drug discovery is getting increasingly crowded.
It is. So standing out from the crowd and showcasing the unique value proposition of scientificlocal.org will be crucial.
They need to make sure their story is heard.
Exactly. And of course, there's the inherent uncertainty of scientific research.
Not every promising lead compound turns into a marketable drug.
Right. There will inevitably be setbacks and unexpected challenges along the way.
It's a high-risk, high-reward endeavor.
For sure. But that's often the nature of innovation. You have to be willing to embrace the unknown and push beyond the boundaries of what's currently possible.
That's what makes this project so exciting. It's not just a business proposition. It's a scientific adventure.
A journey into the uncharted territory of Indonesian herbal medicine.
Fueled by a deep passion for discovery and a commitment to making the difference.
I love that. It's a reminder that nature holds incredible secrets waiting to be unlocked.
And those secrets could hold the key to a healthier future for us all.
I truly believe that.
Well, listeners, we've explored the financial projections, delved into the potential impact, and acknowledged the challenges that lie ahead.
It's been quite a journey.
As we wrap up our deep dive into scientificlocal.org, we want to leave you with a final thought, something to ponder as you navigate your own journey of discovery and innovation.
What would that be?
Imagine a future where personalized medicine is the norm, where treatments are tailored to your unique genetic makeup and health history.
I like where this is going.
And imagine that many of those treatments are derived from natural sources, harnessing the healing power of plants that have been used for centuries in traditional medicine.
It's a beautiful vision.
It is. A future where nature and science work hand in hand, where ancient wisdom informs cutting-edge discoveries, and where the health and well-being of humanity are at the forefront.
That's the kind of future scientificlocal.org is striving to create. It's a beautiful vision.
It is. It truly is. And it's a vision that resonates deeply with me. You know, when I hear about projects like scientificlocal.org, I can't help but think back to my childhood. Those moments of wonder exploring the natural world.
Right.
The sense of awe and the endless possibilities for discovery.
Yeah, like you could discover anything out there.
Exactly. And it's like scientificlocal.org is rekindling that spirit, but with the added power of scientific inquiry.
Yeah, they're taking that childlike curiosity and giving it a turbo boost.
Exactly. They're harnessing the power of both nature and science.
And speaking of harnessing power, let's shift our focus to you, the listener.
Yeah, why should you care about all of this?
What's the personal relevance?
That's the key question, right?
It is. And I think on a fundamental level, we all yearn for a healthier future.
For ourselves and our loved ones.
Exactly. And what scientificlocal.org is doing is tapping into this vast and largely unexplored reservoir of potential healing.
They're not just searching for new drugs, they're searching for new ways of understanding health and well-being.
Inspired by the deep connection between humans and the natural world.
That connection is so important.
It is. It's like they're reminding us that the answers to some of our most pressing health challenges might be found right beneath our feet.
In the plants that have sustained communities for generations.
Exactly. And just imagine the ripple effect of this research.
Oh, wow, yeah.
If they're successful in developing new treatments for infectious diseases, chronic conditions, or even AIDS-related ailments,
The impact could be huge.
it could. It could have a profound impact on global health, improving the lives of countless people.
It's a story of hope, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring wisdom of nature.
And for me, it reinforces the belief that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges,
There's always room for innovation, discovery, and a brighter future.
couldn't have said it better myself.
It's inspiring stuff. Well, dear listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of scientificlocal.org.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does. We've explored their financial projections, marveled at the potential impact, and considered the challenges they might face.
And we've delved into this fascinating intersection of traditional knowledge and modern science.
Where ancient wisdom meets cutting-edge innovation.
It's been quite a ride.
It has. And we hope this journey has sparked your curiosity, ignited your imagination, and left you with a renewed appreciation for the power of nature.
To heal and inspire.
Absolutely. So as you go about your day, remember that the world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into those boundless realms of knowledge and possibility.
Until next time, folks, stay curious.